Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I'm actually really excited. I don't talk about this often, but today I want to share with you how I've been doing swing trading. I always talk about day trading, interview day traders, but I've been doing really well swing trading, and I want to share with you why I traded at Walmart and my thought process behind it. So watch this video if you like it, comment below, and subscribe, and thanks again. So I don't talk about this often, but I want to share with you a swing trade that I'm currently in, and it's something I swing trade fairly often. Been doing it since I've been day trading, since I left my job, and I found some good success on it. It's the only strategy that I can actually buy confidently and hold for multiple days. When I swing trade, I do buy, and it's because it's in my IRA account. You can't really short there, but I can buy, and my plan isn't necessarily set in stone like it is in day trading in terms of length of time. In day trading, I'm trying to stay in for just the day max. I'm not trying to stay in overnight. But in swing trading, I will be in it for a minimum of one full day up to weeks, maybe a month. I haven't really been in something over a month, maybe a little over a month, but not really, because usually it hits my price target. So in this case, hopefully that makes sense. I'm always have a price target in mind and a stop loss in mind, but then the amount of time that it takes to get to either one is up to the market, and it just differs, right? So with Walmart, and also keep in mind that I'm not looking at the fundamentals. I'm not a fundamentals trader. If you're about that, this might not be for you, but the main thing that I've learned, also reading the book, The Turtle Traders, which I'll put a link below. It's a great book. I just finished that one. And it kind of coincides with what I'm doing. They really just follow the trend, and they have found success over years. And if you need to check out that book, especially if you're interested in swing trading, because they give you examples of how to swing trade and so forth. Now, I don't trade like them. I'm trading based off of what I've been noticing over the years of just watching the market over and over and using technical analysis, because I've found technical analysis really helps with swing trading for me. And volume, for sure, volume is important. So first off, I like to look at every time frame. On the monthly chart of Walmart, we have a trend here, right? You can see a clear trend. And then if you look on the weekly chart, that trend is still valid. We go to the daily chart, we still got a valid trend, which is nice. You could have bought on these dips here. However, this is not where I bought. I actually just bought recently on a different type of pattern. I wouldn't really say pattern, but momentum play that I'm looking at. What I saw was a very big candle with volume, absurd volume than before, right? This is the highest volume we've had after a downturn and finding support at 118. Once we found the support at 118 and we bounced, I was interested in it because I thought, we have support, we're bouncing on volume, right? It's not a normal bounce. It's actually a validated bounce. There's a ton of volume behind it, more than it's ever had in a long time, since the red day, right? And because of that, I wanted to wait and see if it was confirmed. I didn't want to just buy on this volume candle without any confirmation, because at this time I'm still thinking of risking 118, and I'm looking for 133 and above, because I feel we could see momentum carry on and break highs. You've noticed a lot of stocks are breaking new highs, all-time highs. It's happening a lot, so it's possible that Walmart could do the same. Now, with that in mind, I actually was going to the 4-hour chart, and here's that day, right? So we see this day, and then we have a downturn. Now, I'm not even doing anything on this day. I was just watching it just to see where we might support. But on this day, I was interested because if we go to the hourly chart, you'll see that we start to trend here. We start to build a trend. It's not a very strong trend, but what really caught my attention is the volume and how quickly we came back. We came back pretty strong after this significant down move with volume, if this was going to be a real move, which it looks like it's real because of the volume, that's why I want to trade this day. Because on this day, right after this big green day, this looks like just a momentum move, right? And so usually you'll see another move coming back down. And we saw that. And so I thought, you know what, this is not a play. It's not a play. If anything, the only way you would want to trade this is maybe buying near support, but really near this trend. And so I was watching it though because the next day was important to me and what it did. And if you go here, it actually opened, went down, and we didn't crack this low, the 124 that we set. Instead, we spiked on good volume. You can see on good volume, and then dipped right away and then held support again at 125. So when that happened and we had a higher low, we have a low, a higher low, a higher low on the 30-minute, and then we start to uptrend, right? When that happens and we break this high, it's telling me that, okay, there's momentum here. There's some buying going on. It had its chance to die, but it did not. So when it did that, it's very simple. I mean, once we started consolidating this 127, 128 area, I wanted to buy. So I bought some at 127.90 thinking 128 was going to break. And it broke in the after hours. And then pre-market, we came down to 127.20, which held the trend, which is beautiful. Because it held the trend here pre-market, held the trend here at the open. And at the time when I was buying here, I had a wide risk. Yes, I was risking, I believe the 118s. I believe it was, no, I'm sorry. I was risking the 125s. So the trend line really, if the trend line broke, I was going to be getting out. So it wasn't really that wide. And my plan is to sell in the 132s, the 131s, the 133s, and then above that. So it's a good risk reward for a swing trade for me. And the swing trade is not the same as a day trade for me at least. Because, buying at 128, risking $3 a share, you already get 1-to-1 at 130, 131. And then 33, you get 2-to-1, which is what I'm going for. But if it breaks 133, I'll still have half size available where I'm going to hold, because all-time highs has been happening, as I mentioned, and now we can see 3-to-1, 4-to-1, and so forth. And you just ride this trend. Now, this momentum can easily die out tomorrow. And if it does, or tomorrow is Monday, the 13th. And if it does, then it does, and that's part of trading. But now, my risk is 127. The reason I'm adjusting my risk to 127 is because we had time. We dipped to 127, spiked, dipped to 127, spike, 127, spike, 127, spike. So it's showing that it's support. You can see here, if you draw a trend, you'll see it support it and resistance. So I'm not going to cut it just because it breaks this trend line right away. But I will be paying attention. If it holds the trend line under and consolidates and starts to downtrend, yes, I'll cut it. But if it just dips right at the open like this, then I will hold it until my risk is breached. Now, I anticipate we'll see at least a test of these highs. So above 132, looking for the 132.50, 133. I'll be selling, I already sold a piece at 131. I believe it was at 131, and then I looking to sell a piece between 132.50 and 133. And then at that point, I'll be looking for a high day break. Now you'll notice that I'm not looking at the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 10 minute. I'm really focused on the 15, 30, the hourly, and the bigger time frames, because this is a swing trade. I'm not trying to get in and out in one day. I'm trying to get in and out over some time. So we'll see. It would be nice to see this consolidate on the weekly, and it could take another week or two for me to get my move, which I'm okay with. Like for the swing trading account, I'm 100% okay with holding something for weeks, and that's something you got to keep in mind. So if you're someone who is trading and working, or want to grow your 401k on your own instead of trusting these people who don't know anything about trading and they just basically recommend what their company recommends, because they get a commission, or because you have to select a couple of different funds because your company only gives you a couple, well, then you're just, out of luck. But if you do have your own IRA, or you can control your own 401k, I would say start looking at swing trading, because you can determine what you're in and get out, and you can basically control your risk. Unlike in those funds, you don't know what's going to happen. You're just in a fund, and pretty much you can't. I mean, when I was in a fund, I wasn't making anything. So I think if you're working and you want to find another way to trade, this is a slow way to do it. It is slower, but it's faster than the normal traditional way. But it's not as fast as day trading. It can be for some, depending on the size you're trading. But this is a trade that I'm very comfortable with, and I'm hoping that you can see what I see here. The VWAP that you see on my charts, I don't give two craps about it. It's only there for my day trading, and the only way I use it for day trading is really for. Actually, I might be taking it up. I don't use it. I use it for just to confirm if it's on a trend on the up or a down sometimes. But also, it could be used good for longing. You can see a good long setup here. But at the end of the day, hope this helps. Walmart, like I said, technical analysis, volume is the main reason why I'm trading this. Because if you read the books that I mentioned, Turtle Trader, or any book, Volume Price Analysis, Trading in the Zone, any book out there regarding trading, the main indicators are the ones that are most important, and that is the ones that you need is price and volume. That is it. You don't need all these indicators. You'll see my chart, it really has nothing. I have VWAP, but I have nothing on here. You'll see other people's charts, they have all these stupid lines. It's just garbage. So understand that's delayed information, and what you need is now information to make good decisions, and that's volume and price.
The next day.
So I recorded that Walmart trade over the weekend when I was already in the play at 128, sold some at 130, I think it was at 131. And today we got my price target. I told you guys I went at 132.50 and 133. I sold some at 132.50, the rest at 133. And my last quarter I got out at 129. Because I thought at that point, if it broke under 129, I was out of it. And if I zoom in here, you can see 129 to me should have held, and it definitely still could hold. I could have got out of it a little prematurely, should have still indeed risked this until the end of this day. But the fact that we topped out at high day, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that we're pulling back. It was those all-time highs we hit, and we couldn't even hold it. In fact, we got selling pressure and brought us all the way back down. So I'm happy with this trade. My last quarter of shares, I got out at 129, and I was in at an average of 127.93, I believe. So great trade, great swing trade. I was in it on, to review it, I was in on this day. So 3 days total for a nice gain. And sometimes, it happens in 3 days. Sometimes it happens in a week. Sometimes it happens in a day. But this one took 3 days to get to my profit target, and I'm happy with this trade because overall I was risking initially $3 and ended up making $6, and then I initially, after day one of being in it, I was risking $1 to make $6. So it's great risk reward here. Really happy about this trade, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it and you want to see other videos like this, comment below. Give me some ideas. I love getting more ideas, and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can be aware of future videos.